Welcome back from the break. My name is Berenje Stella. I'm here with Alex Simbo, and you are watching the Dairy Lounge here on DreamTV and BTV. Good morning. If you have just joined us right now, we are streaming live on www.imc.ug. That means you can get to watch us anywhere at any time, but also we have the Doxa app, which specifically is for the Android. We are yet to come on the Apple Store, so if you have your Play Store, go ahead and download the app so that you are able to keep up with what's happening, especially on Dream TV and BTV Impact as well.
Impact as well.
Yes, Impact as well. And then if you want to know what's happening at Victory Christian Center, that means you get the Victory Uganda app, and that is available on both, right?
Yeah, it is.
Apple Store and the Play Store. Unfortunately, when we are not talking about DR Congo, we are talking about South Sudan, and the situation right there is so critical that the U.S. has ordered non-emergency government staff to leave immediately. That is scary.
It's a strange scenario that happens in such countries. So what were they doing there in the first place?
If they are non-emergency.
If they are non-emergency, what were they doing there?
A
lot of them are business people, a lot of them are oil dealers, a lot of them are into looting the country. Okay? But you see, looting a country is not worth your life. So get out of there. Get out of there, and let's preserve life. You will come and loot later.
All right.
No, you need to have an African mindset. You get it. Love your continent. Okay? Hey, these South Sudanese, in spite of their color, are your brothers and sisters.
Wow, Alex. First of all, I won't even be getting into that with you. I don't know where this is coming from. Whose side am I on, according to you? Whose side
When
do
you
think
say
I'm
allegedly,
on?
what do you mean?
Like
Like what?
there's no
Like, you say it.
On Sunday, the U.S. Department came out to say, you know what, if you are non-emergency, come out of there. It ordered non-emergency government personnel to leave South Sudan's capital as tensions have escalated because of fighting in the north. Now, the travel advisory issued on Sunday stated that fighting was ongoing and that weapons are readily available to the population. That's a big one because even Alex, you did talk about it yesterday. Now, an armed group clashed with the country's army, leading to the arrest of 2 government ministers and a deputy army chief, allied to former rebel turned Vice President Riek Machar.
Now you see where the trouble is. You get into a unity government, everybody contributes. They say this minister will come from my side, that minister will come from your side. Now when they tell you they've arrested 2 ministers, don't imagine that they are for the president's ministers. They are the vice president's ministers that they have arrested, because as you go on, you'll discover that they also surrounded the vice president's home.
Well, like you have said, the army surrounded Machar's home as his supporters said that the arrests were threatening the country's peace agreement. Now, South Sudan descended into a civil war from 2013 to 2018, during which more than 400,000 people were killed.
Now, remember, they got independence in 2011. 2013, they already get into a civil war. That takes 5 years. A lot of times, I think they were not ready for independence.
Were we?
We. Very much. Very independent country. What do you think? Except that we are dependent on US aid to survive malaria.
Now, President Salva Kiir and Machar, his rival, signed a peace agreement in 2018 that is still in the process of implementation. Now, just last Friday, an attack on the UN helicopter that was an evacuation mission in the north complicated the security situation, and a UN rights body said that it was considered a war crime.
Okay, you're a social media person. Do you remember a picture where the South Sudan president at a parade was seen wetting his pants?
When did that happen?
Oh, surprised you're asking.
For
I'm
real.
surprised. For real, president at a parade is not supposed to move. Okay, but the guy wetted his pants. President w'eggwanga. I don't say
you
it
can't
in
say
Uganda.
it because
I
it's
can't say it in Uganda. It's a little heavy.
But why?
No, the question should be why die? Racho fira kubantu. I was going to say why die on people. Racho fira kubantu. You get it? Exit. Go do other things. Eh?
Wow.
In Kenya, there was a president, I want to mention names again, while addressing the nation on national television, his pants dropped, trousers fell. Mpale yagwa. Eyo wajulirako.
Yeah.
Huh?
Nekati yatenywedde.
Obuzani. Yeah. In Zimbabwe, another of their presidents was alighting off an aeroplane, and he stumbled and fell and crawled like this. They began making, you call them memes, out of it.
You know,
I should have brought them. You should maybe if it chances us, I'll bring them. And my question: this all happens okay, even the U.S. I think Joe Biden recently fell.
Yeah,
when he was on. I know that George H.W. Bush Sr. Went to Japan and he was served sushi, and he threw up at a presidential dinner.
But there it could have been an allergy. Yeah.
What? It's excusable.
Yeah.
But your pants falling, you wetting your pants, you crawling at an airport, you doing what they are typically African mannerisms. Or
why are you giving them to Africa? They are also not African.
How many? When have you seen the Queen or the King or the Prime Minister of the UK? Or,
speaking of the Queen, the late was, my goodness, she was so strong at that age.
But do you know what happens to be able those people? I just discovered recently. They don't eat anything. Anyhow. Their diets, it is a rule.
Strict.
You don't eat. Do you know President Museveni doesn't eat chicken?
He doesn't.
And do you know his reasons?
No.
It's unstable.
A chicken is...
And thank you. Did you see that? Please, producer, bring that back. That's the president there.
But you know anyone can lose a step, right?
Sengana Salva Kiir akatufunira. Salva Kiir wet pants. You put that, you'll see what you'll get. You get. You look at that.
Like anyone can lose a step.
Why did the moment choose him? Why did the moment choose him? Okay, I will keep it African and go to Gabon, where the interim president, Brice Oligui Nguema, is to face 3 challenges in the presidential election due next month, that is April, on the 12th of April. And the official list was published by the Interior Minister one day after the deadline for candidature was passed. 19 others were rejected, but were given 72 hours to lodge in their appeal to the Constitutional Court. And Nguema seized power in 2023, a military coup that ended the long-standing rule of his predecessor Ali Bongo and his family. There had been much speculation about whether Nguema would seek to remain in power after a new constitution was published last year and did not bar him from standing. The charter was overwhelmingly approved by the people of Gabon in a referendum, which the military authorities say it would be a stepping stone to democratic rule. His main challenger is seen as Alain Claude Billy Bainze, Ali Bongo's last prime minister. Ngwema will also face Dr. Stefan Jermaine Iloko, a former executive of the Gabonese Democratic Party, and which dominated politics between 1961 and 2023. The final candidate is Joseph Alapensi Esigone, a lawyer and tax inspector. All four are running as independents, with campaigning scheduled to begin on the 29th of this month. Again, typical. West Africa, Gabon is considered Central Africa. Around Gabon, Cameroon, and so on, they believe they are not so much West. They are Central. You give it to them. But the point is, a lot of times you in Africa, you have military coups, then you have a leader who refuses to get out of power, then and so on and so forth. But let's believe that something good will come out of that particular election.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you get into something that you love, royalty. If it were possible, if it was your choice to make, if it was your choice to make, you would choose to be royal.
I'm already someone's princess and someone's queen. And someone's queen. So yeah, so going into royalty. Oh Lord. All right, we talk about the king. When we say the king, you know what we are talking about. And Kate, who returned to the annual Commonwealth service. Now, we are talking about King Charles III and Catherine, Princess of Wales, who attended the annual Commonwealth Day service. As you can see them there, a year after both were forced to cancel because they were receiving cancer treatment. The event that happened yesterday celebrated the Commonwealth's powerful influence for good in the world. Now, Queen Camilla, the Prince of Wales, and the Princess Royal also attended, along with the Prime Minister. The King's appearance at the service was his first in 2 years, while Catherine was absent only last year as she was undergoing chemotherapy, which she has since completed. I remember when the news came in for her chemo, it was a big thing. Now,
it was a big thing, and a lot of people began interpreting it as perhaps a curse on the monarchy there, and so on. Why
we had never seen such backlash on this royal family until the queen passed. Yes, we had never seen them react like that, so it was such a surprise. Now, ahead of commemorating and marking the 80th anniversary of the end of the World War II, the king paid tribute to the sacrifice and selfishness of Commonwealth forces. He also said restoring the disrupted harmony of our entire planet is the most important task facing humanity. In an address included in a booklet given to the congregation, the king wrote, "More than 1.5 million men and women who served during the war came from across the Commonwealth to support the United Kingdom and its allies. On this special anniversary, we remember the particular pride and everlasting gratitude, the untold sacrifice, and the selflessness, of so many from around our family of nations who gave their lives in that dreadful conflict." Okay. You always go ahead to say that there is no such thing as a life worth the greater good. Is that how you always put it, or?
I didn't say the greater good. I said
no one should lose a life.
Their life over. Even that was a useless war. They didn't need to fight it.
But here they are being remembered.
Yeah, it's worth remembering, but it wasn't worth fighting. Let me say this. It's again, I'm going to be controversial here, but let me say it again. It's like royalty. You get it? It's like beauty.
What is like royalty and what is like beauty?
They are not overrated, but what does somebody contribute to their beauty? It is all God-given. Does somebody contribute to their royalty? It is all God-given. Do you understand? So, I would prefer that somebody worked for a humanitarian cause and excelled there and said, so and so came out of a very humble background, but they have influenced a lot of people. Instead of that, those people didn't choose to be what they are. You get it?
Okay.
And this is what I tell my sons. Let me not hear anybody talking about handsome in my house. You get it? They don't study to become handsome. You don't work hard to become handsome. You get it?
Yeah, but
those are things God.
But trust me, when you take good care of yourself and you make the money,
You begin to look handsome.
Great.
I like that now. I like that. That is better. Take care of yourself, bathe, clean, smell good, and all of that. Now you'll be somehow, even though the world might not typically brand you as so, but somehow you look handsome. Okay, so, but do you understand now where I'm coming from and so on?
Yeah.
For me, it's better for you to have this generous heart, to have this caring heart, to have this heart that does what, than for, and again, I think people agree with me out there. What do you think? Time is a
I think that there are people who probably that is the purpose for which God put you on earth for you to go out there for the greater good, whatever the greater good is for that nation, whether at that point it's a pointless civil war or it is
you can die for them when you're not crazed.
Not die, but go and
sacrifice.
Speaking of sacrifice,
after sacrificing, you come and tell them we fought for you to have this peace that you're enjoying.
Soka tubavuge. Speaking of sacrifice, tomorrow there's a couple that is going to be on the Wednesday High Flyer. I love this couple. Trust me, Alex knows this. Sacrifice? Alex, a lot. In that, did you watch part 1? They had to work a lot to get to where they are right now. I love this couple.
No.
Tell us about
is what you like, I think.
Tell us about the couple.
They will be there for the second edition of the High Flyer tomorrow. They began and did a little bit of their background. Tomorrow we will request them to focus on the things they do to become who they are.
Okay. Not how they got there.
They did that, a little bit of that.
Yeah. So, okay. So tomorrow it is Mr. and Mrs.
Kawoya, Dr. and Mrs. Kawoya, Joel and Josephine.
All right. So we have the Wednesday High Flyer service happening from 5:30 a.m. all the way to 8 a.m. So please, we shall be on DreamTV and BTV, also online. Please, be part of it. We can't wait to hear your thoughts on that story. Also, be inspired and motivated.
And that is it. Be inspired. Be inspired. Very important. You watch DreamTV, you'll be inspired. You watch BTV, you will be inspired. God bless you. And have yourselves a pleasant day.